Hello, I am Dr. Debajit Kalita, research scientist. Today, I am giving a brief introduction about one of the very interesting topic on microbiology, that is extremophiles. Extremophiles are those organisms which are living in extreme harsh environments. This word is originated from the Greek word extremas and philia, which means extreme loving. Most member of these groups comes under the domain of archaea. This includes thermophiles, hyperthermophiles, thermoacidophiles, alkaliphiles, saccharophiles, halophiles, barophiles, radiant resistance bacteria, and most of the endolithic organisms. The salient features includes extreme environment present in various on the earth, adaptation to cell structure required for survival in extreme environment. This includes residents of extreme cold environment, residents of hydrothermal environments, residents of acidic environment, residents of high salt environment, residents of alkaline environment, survival under the conditions of high level radiation exposure, and various mechanisms they adopted to survive in that type of extreme condition. Prokaryotes are divided into three categories, that is bacteria, archaea, and eukarya in the three domain system of universal life of microbiology. These are some type of extreme environment on earth. Sea ice, which is extremely cold, hydrothermal vent, which are extremely heat and high metal content, sulfuric springs, which are extreme heat and highly acidic, salt lake, which are extremely salt concentration, soda lake, which are extremely salt concentration and highly alkaline. Life on ice. Ice are mostly covered 75% of the Earth's biospheres, which are permanently cold and less than 5 degrees Celsius. Much of the life present in this cold environment are planktonic growth of the bacteria and archaea, which are known as saccharophiles. These are identified by molecular techniques like 16S rRNA sequencing and fluorescent rRNA and DNA probes. At this point of physiology of saccharophilic bacteria are still undetermined. More life on ice are some algal species which are living on the ice is known as photosynthetic unicellular plants. Some are lichens which are associated in symbiotic relationship with the fungi, phytoplanktons, and krill-like substance. Extreme temperature. Thermophiles are living in high temperature. Thermal vents and hot springs may go hand in hand with chemical extreme conditions. Saccharophiles are living in low temperature like Arctic and Antarctic, where the temperature is 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, or some deep sea vent where -1 degree to 4 degrees Celsius. They are mostly rely on photosynthesis. These are the model life of planet Europa, which is Lake Vostok, from where these scientists are isolating various types of bacteria. Hydrothermal vent systems are those systems where the extreme environment is present, where mostly chemosynthesis happen. These are formed with hot magma, seawater mixes with hot minerals, ocean soil. These are found mostly in seawater percolate through the heated rocks. These are the anatomy of the hydrothermal vent. Hydrothermal vent is there is a various type of conditions. The first one I am going to explain in abiotic condition. Extremely hot temperature, that is more than 350 degrees Celsius, where hydrostatic pressure is 265 atmospheric pressure, prevents the water from boiling until 460 degrees Celsius. Extremely high pressure up to 1000 atmosphere, vents rich in minerals which are very toxic to normal bacteria are iron oxides, sulfides, manganese oxides, calcium, zinc, and copper sulfate. How water anaerobic, since solubility of oxygen decreases as water temperature increases. Hydrothermal vent ecosystems, the prokaryotes livings are some of the prokaryotes which are isolated from the hydrothermal vents are archaea, Methanococcus janussi from the 85 degrees Celsius, bacteria which is Equifax ehrlichia which is isolated from 95 degrees Celsius, Pyrococcus furiosus which is 100 degrees isolated from 100 degrees Celsius, Archaeoglophus fulgidus which is isolated from the 80 degrees Celsius, and Thermotoga maritima 90 degrees Celsius. Hydrothermal vent ecosystems are mostly snow, floris, and crabs. These are some example of flocks of sulfur bacteria, galatid crabs which are present. Alkalophiles. The best example of alkaline lakes are monolake, alkaline soda lake, where pH is almost 9, salinity in 8 degrees Celsius. Halophiles. Solar Saltern's owner lakes is the greatest example of the halophiles. Great Salt Lake, coastal splash zone, Dead Sea. These are the examples of high salt concentration area. Chemical extremes. These acidophiles are those who are living in mostly acidic conditions are known as acidophiles. These are also found in thermal vents and some hot springs. Alkaliphiles, those who are living in alkaline condition like Soda Lake in Africa and Western US. Those who are living in high salt concentration are halophiles, highly salty. Natural salt lakes and man-made pools sometimes occur with extreme salinity. Survival of those microorganisms, that is known as extremophiles, are chemically very extreme. Interior of cell is normal, but exterior cells having their protective layer from this harsh environment to survive. Acidophiles and alkaliphiles sometimes excrete protective substance and enzymes. Acidophiles often lack of cell wall. Some moderate halophiles have high concentration of solute inside to avoid pickling. Some enzymes from these microbes are very interesting, which I will discuss in due course of time of my second presentation. Cellular targets of adaptation to extreme environment are like this. Normal typical prokaryotic cells having cytoplasm which contains water, proteins, metabolites, soils, and nucleoids which are aggregated and DNA chromosomes, cell wall, and cytoplasmic membrane, typically lipid bilayer. But in extreme conditions, the cell wall and cytoplasmic membranes covered by various others ligands and chemical substances which protects the cell from extreme harsh conditions to make them survive in the extreme environment. So these are the informations for extreme environment conditions towards the promotion of microbiology in Northeast India. There is a various sites in Northeast India which are extreme in environment, like Barapani hot water spring, Jakau hot water spring of Meghalaya, and some high salt concentration in Manipur and Arunachal, some low temperature area in Arunachal. So we may find new kind of and a new variety of microorganisms which having this survival capacity in this type of extreme environment. So now we know something about extremophiles, where they live and how they survive. They are interesting. On the because they have enzymes that work in unusual conditions. The practical applications as they are interesting. So I am winding up with my presentation on a highlighting topic of these extremophiles. So further in due course, I will bring more interesting topic in these regards towards more about the extremophiles. Thank you NESM for providing me such a interesting platform for the promotion of science for the Northeast Indian states. Thank you.